In this video, we are going to be talking about how you can close more brand direct wholesale accounts. Let's jump right into it. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Brad Sherman, seven-figure seller, and on this channel we explore tips, strategies, and experiences that I have had that will help you start and build up your Amazon FBA wholesale business. For those of you just joining, welcome, and today's video will be covering how you can close more wholesale accounts with brands direct. I get questions all the time about how I'm able to close wholesale accounts so effectively with the brand directly, because most of them are telling me that they're not selling to Amazon sellers. So how do you then go about providing them with value and closing more accounts? This is different from a distributor approach. You can work with distributors as well, but they act as a middleman between you and the brand. So they're not going to have that vested interest in the brand and the performance and health of their product line on Amazon like the brand would. Before we jump into it, if you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the videos out in the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell as well if you want to receive constant updates about when I post new videos. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to check out the other videos on my channel where I go into detail about how to start and scale an Amazon FBA wholesale business. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I have three main points that I'd like to cover in this video for how I close a lot of brand direct wholesale accounts. And as you guys know, if you've been reaching out through wholesale for any extended period of time, majority of the suppliers that you reach out to do not want to work with Amazon sellers. And this is magnified even more when you're reaching out to brands direct. Like we said in the beginning of the video, distributors don't have that vested interest in the brand. Oftentimes, they just want to sell and move products. So you're able to build great relationships with distributors by purchasing through volume. Now with brands, it's a little bit different because while volume is still important, what is also important is the health and integrity of their brand and how it's represented on Amazon. So if you have a bunch of sellers undercutting each other on their product line, it's not going to look very well to the brand, and chances are that's the reason why they've cut off additional Amazon distribution to begin with. So before we get into point number one, I just want to emphasize the importance of getting on the phone and calling these brands. You're only going to accomplish so much by email. I would have to say only a couple of them did I ever receive a price list on the first email from a brand direct. That's what most sellers are doing to begin with, is sending very surface level mass emails to all different brands in their contacts. What I would recommend you do is just get on the phone, get out of your comfort zone, and reach out to these brands. That is what's going to close more accounts and build more relationships. So these 3 points that I'm about to cover are assuming you are already making calls, because if you're not making calls and only sending emails, I want you to first try making calls and then take these 3 approaches. So point number one is when they tell you they are not interested in additional e-commerce or Amazon sellers, you have to gauge their response. Their response is going to range from something like on one end of the spectrum, which will be, oh, we have plenty of e-commerce companies out there. We have companies selling our products and representing our products online. So we are, essentially what they're saying is they are taking on additional e-commerce sellers. Great, those are the accounts that I say are kind of, low-hanging fruit. You can get them right off the bat. That's not to say that those are not worth getting. We have plenty of them, and I would absolutely recommend getting a price list as soon as you can and going through those products. Ultimately, what you can do with accounts like that is, as you build a relationship with them, potentially convert that account to what's known as a very selective account, where they start capping the number of sellers that is on their product listing. Response number 2 is, absolutely not. We are not interested. We want industry-specific brick and mortar store and industry-specific website. Now, with these types of companies, you really have to gauge the tonality of their voice and if it is even worth pursuing. Oftentimes it's not. If they need that industry specificity and you don't have it, if you don't have an industry specific website or brick and mortar store in their space, which we've talked about how to do that and form those partnerships in previous videos. So if you guys haven't seen my video on contacting suppliers, I'll link that up above for you to check out. But if you don't have access to those things, chances are you'll just want to move on and go to the next phone call. Now, somewhere in the middle are these suppliers that are halfway in the no column and halfway in the yes column. And those are the guys that we really want to capitalize on and share our knowledge with, because those are the ones that we might be able to shift their opinion towards the yes and convince them to work with our company when in fact they have said they've already capped the number of sellers. The reason why we make calls is so that you can determine tonality in the voice. You can't get this by email, so the only way to do it is just by making calls. And did I mention you need to make calls? So the first thing we can do when they say, we're not so much so interested in adding additional e-commerce business, or on Amazon, we have sellers already that are doing that. We don't want to oversaturate the market. Something like that, probably a very common response that you hear. First thing I want you to do is start asking them calibrated questions. The best way to grow the conversation is by asking them questions and learning more about their business. Assuming you've already asked some questions about, their company and maybe, the different product lines that they carry, so that you are familiar with what you're interested in stocking. The next thing you're going to want to do is actually ask them calibrated questions about what's going on Amazon. Something like, do any of your existing sellers help with brand development on Amazon? So something like that is so simple, and you can ask them it and they might not know exactly what that means. So that's why you want to begin to educate them about their brand positioning, competition, and what the marketplace is like out there. Once you've provided them with more information about, what's going on with their brand online, and this is for the companies that are not really entirely in control of what's going on. There's plenty of companies that handle all of this directly themselves, so it's going to be a little bit of a different approach with them. But assuming this is the kind of response you're getting, what you're going to want to do now is match the pain points that they have. So issues with map pricing, everybody's oversaturating, nobody's advertising, different things like that. Match those pain points and deliver value propositions to them. How is your company going to be different from the other Amazon companies out there? And are you just an Amazon company? You have to represent your entity in such a way to the point where you are not solely an Amazon business, or you're not representing yourself as solely an Amazon business. You have to show that you do more than just simply sell products on Amazon. And you have to do more than just sell products on Amazon. You have to provide these brands with some sort of value proposition in order for them to want to work with you. Additionally, not only does the content that you're sharing with them have to make sense and provide them with value, but your delivery is incredibly important. Are you articulate? Do you know what you're talking about? Are you educated? Do you talk with conviction? Are you, sounding like you're extremely passionate and have a deep understanding of what you're talking about? If you can deliver these points, oftentimes the delivery of these points is more effective than the points themselves, because you could give these value propositions to any person and they can reach out to a brand, but if they're not convincing when they say it, chances are the brand is not going to be interested. Point number 3 that's going to help you close more brand direct accounts, and that is help the brand understand that their status quo tactics, meaning the existing sellers that they're selling to, is actually perpetuating the issue, because they have existing sellers that are violating MAP, that are not adding any additional value, that are not advertising or helping the brand grow. Help them understand that their status quo, maintenance of that, help them understand that their choice to remain status quo and not look at working with any other companies is what is perpetuating the problem. And then share new opportunities with them that other people have not yet opened up. It's important to note that you're not picking apart their brand, or you're not criticizing any of the existing sellers. That is by no means what we are trying to get across here, and in fact the exact opposite. What we are trying to do is focus on the pain points that the supplier, brand direct, has had with existing and past sellers, and then match those pain points with value propositions as to how our company is different than those other businesses that they have and continue to work with. That's it for this video, guys. I hope that helped you understand more about how to close more brand direct wholesale accounts, emphasizing again the importance of making phone calls. Guys, if you're just hiding behind a keyboard sending an email, you're just not going to close the level of accounts that the person that is calling will. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more wholesale content like this, hit that subscribe button and notification bell as well. Make sure to check out the link in the description below for the free private Facebook group. Ending it here. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.